Welcome to Cuckoo Crazy Crochet. Hi, my name is Ronnie and today we're going to make this Easter Bunny Libby. I think he's really cute. So what you will need to make this Easter Bunny Libby, let me just put him on to the side. You will need a 5mm hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, at least 4 stitch markers, a couple of pipe cleaners, your color of yarn. Today I'm using yellow and mandala yarn. This mandala yarn is Mandala Sparkle, and it's called Disco. One skein of this mandala yarn made 1.5 Easter Bunny Lubbies. You will also need some fiberfill and your pattern, of course. Get your whatever color you're using for your body and your hook ready, and we'll begin. First, you need to make a magic circle. With a chain 3. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. You should have a total of 6 of these shells. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we can close up the magic ring. You can either do chain 2, or I'm going to do a half a double crochet in the top of the chain 3. With it being a half a double, you stay in the corner, and that's where I want to be until I get to the end of the hexagon. Now I need a chain 3, and put 2 double crochet first spot. That's half of your corner. Now in each of the next 5 corners you will put 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'll meet back up with you to finish the very first corner. On the very first corner, we did half of the corner. Now we need to finish the half of the corner. So we need 3 double crochets. And then you can chain 2, but I'm going to put a half a double crochet in the corner to the top of the chain 3. I'm going to modify I'm going to control my colors this time around. So this is how you change color. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to add my new color. Wrap yarn around the hook and pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook. Now you have added a new color. Chain 3 with 2 double crochets. Now what I do is I just turn it over and I take the 2 ends, I double knot them together, and then later I'll weave them into my work. Then they're out of the way. And each space, these little spaces, because you'll have several on the sides, you will just put 3 double crochets in each one. In each of the corners, you will put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. In the space, this is your repeat for this round. In each space, you put 3 double crochets, in each corner, you put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Finish this round, and I'll meet back up with you to finish this corner. Okay. To finish up this corner, you need 3 double crochet, a chain 2, or a half a double crochet in the top of the chain 3. For this round, we're going to do the same thing, chain 3, 2 double crochet in that corner, in the next space, 3 double crochet, this time you have 2 spaces. So in the next space, 3 double crochet, in the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So with each added row, you will add 1 more space to each side of your project. So the repeat for this row is chain 3 in the next space, or I'm sorry, 3 double crochet in the next space, 3 double crochet in the following space, and in each corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So I'll meet you back around here to finish this corner, and I'll also be changing the color too. I'm ready to finish the corner. Before we finish the corner, I'm going to go ahead and change colors here. So I'm going to go chain over and go through the loop and chain over and go through the first 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to add my new color, chain over and go through the second 2 loops on the hook. That's your first double crochet. Then you need 2 double crochets, and a half a double crochet at the top of the chain 3. I'm going to take a minute and double knot these 2 ends together. And we will weave them in when we're done. Okay, chain 3, two double crochet in that corner, you should now have 3 spaces on each of your sides. 1, 2, 3. In each space you're going to put 3 double crochet, no chains between the 2 spaces. In each corner you're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. On my normal loveys, if you're using a size 4 yarn, we would only do 6 rounds. But with this mandala yarn, it's a size 3, so it's a little bit smaller yarn. We're going to put 7 rounds. How do you count your rounds? Well, I'll show you. You find your center, which mine's right here, and you count up to the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 5th round. When you have 7 or 6, if you're using a 4 weight yarn, I'll meet you back then. Just continue to put 3 double crochets in each of your spaces on your sides. And in each corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I will finish my work, and on the 7th round I'll come back here to the beginning and I'll help you finish this very first corner, and I'll show you how to fasten off. I'll be back. Okay, I've made it to my last round, and I'm now at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 double crochet to finish off this corner. And because this is the last round, we're going to chain 2 and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. We're not going to fasten off because we're not done with the yarn yet. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in my loop so it can't pull out. See? We're going to weave in our ends. So fasten your into your magic loop onto your needle. If you have more, if you need to sew this hole in by weaving in your end around the hole, it will close it. A little bit better than what it was before. I'm just going to go all the way around it one time. pull tight, and then cut it off. I've woven in most of my ends, except for up here where my last color change was. I'm going to take the blue. When you have the color change like this, you need to take your ends and weave them in the same color that your end is. And what I do is I just go under all of them in one stitch, and then I just go skip one. See if I can get in closer. I can't. I hope you can see this. Skip a strand and go in. You go back and forth. Since this is smaller yarn, and I do it 4 times, and then you move on to your next color. And I'm just going to work my way down to the bottom. And then I'm going to hide it right here. And then you go back and forth. Every time you need to skip strand of yarn, this way it'll stay tight and it won't come out. And then once you're done, you just fasten off those yarns. Once I'm done with this project, I take the opposite corners and I pull on them to stretch it out. Now you flip it over, and we're going to make an L. We're just going to fold it in half. This is where I like to put my stitch markers to hold it together. I just place one in each corner. Hold it together better. Not so much strain on your hands. So now we're going to make the leg. You're going to chain 3. Because this is sitting on a corner, we're going to go to the next available space, which is right here, and we're going to put 3 double crochet in there. And in each space around, you're going to put 3 double crochet. there's a corner spot, we'll just put 3 double crochet. Now we're back over in this corner spot. We're going to put 2 double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3. Round 2, chain 3. In that space, add 2 double crochets, and then in each space around, put 3 double crochets. When you get here where there's a big space because of the open of the body, you just put 3 double crochets right there. Treat it as if it's a space. Now you slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And since chain 3, and since there's no space there, we're going to go ahead and skip over to the next space and do 3 double crochets. Continue to put 3 double crochets in each space around, and when we get back up here by the chain 3, I'll return. Okay, I made it back around. In this last space, we're going to put 2 double crochets. Then we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3. By doing it this way, it keeps your end at the corner, and I'll explain why that's a good thing after these 2 more rows. Keep doing 2 more rows, just like we have been, chain 3 at the beginning with 2 double crochets in that same space. In each space around, 3 double crochets. When I'm done with my last 2 rows, I will continue. Okay, I'm on my last space, and I just need to put 2 double crochet in and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Now you should have something that looks like this. If you lose your spot, you can lose your row count, come down here to your, where you connected it together, the corner, and you just count diagonally the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 rows. So now we're going to slip stitch the bottom together. We're just going to go under both loops on both sides and make a slip stitch. And you're going to do this all the way across. Zoom in a little bit. I'm going to do this all the way across the bottom of the leg here. Once you get to the end, I go behind this last, I go like back post, I go through there, and then I slip stitch there too, and that's where I make my knot at. And then I chain 1 and fasten off. Leave a long enough tail to weave in your end later. Now we're going to go up here to the arm. I like to match up my sides, so on this side I like to find where the slip stitch is. Let's see if we can get this close enough. You can tell where I've slip stitched across this top row. That's going to be my front side. So with it like this, this is the front. So I'm going to slip stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch all the way up here and then all the way across here, and I'll show you how that's done. We'll come up here to the shorts part. We're going to go just like we did at the bottom. First we're going to start by the back post and make a slip stitch. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to go under each loop, 2 loops in the front, 2 loops in the back, and we're going to slip stitch all the way to the end. The stitch marker can be taken out. You don't need it there no more. once you get to the corners, we're going to go in the back loop only of the front panel and the front loop only of the back panel. And that's how we're going to slip stitch the arms together. So in each stitch across, you go in the front loop of the front panel, the back loop of the front panel, and the back loop and the front loop of the back panel. I'm so sorry if I've confused you now. So the back loop of the front panel and the front loop of the back panel. And I'm just going to slip stitch them all the way until I get to the corner. And once I get there, I'll be back. Okay, I've made it to the corner. I go into the first stitch on the corner, and then I fasten off. Now I'm going to show you how I weave in my ends. I put my hand inside here, and I just put it into the work and go on the inside. Once I've got my needle all the way through, I turn this inside out. And then you can weave in your ends in the back of the work where nobody can see it. And once you're done, clip off your yarn, turn your piece right side out again, and it's like you never had one. So I'm going to weave in my two ends on the arm, and I'll be back. Okay, once you have that all done, you need to put up your body yarn and get out your other yarn. Time to make the hands and the feet. So you make a slip knot. And we're going to go under the slip stitch. Right there. You see the slip stitch, the V's all the way across? That's what we're going to go under. And we're going to make a single crochet. So one single crochet under the slip stitch, all the way across. This is your first round. I'm up to the corner. Now I'm going to turn my work. And if you can see, well, let me put my hook in there. You can see V's across there too. So we're going to put one single crochet in each of those V's as well. Due to the different size of yarn, with whomever is making it, I'm not going to have a stitch count. We'll just go around it and I'll tell you what to do. So I'm here to the beginning. I'm going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet, and then I'm going to put a stitch marker in that last stitch I did. And now you want to put we're not going to slip stitch into that. I'm sorry. This is going to be a continuous round. So you'll want to put a single crochet in that very first stitch. And now we need to put 6 more rounds of one single crochet in each stitch round. When you get to your stitch marker, remember to put a single crochet there and not a slip stitch. Remember to move your stitch marker on every row, and when my 6 rows are done, I will be back to tell you what else to do. Okay, now I'm done with my 7 rows. If you lose your way and you can't remember how many stitches or how many rows there is, this very first row here where it connects to the colored yarn, that's your very first row. And you just count your bumps all the way up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how many rows you should have. So now we need to decrease. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to do a single crochet decrease. And this is your repeat all the way around. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then a single crochet decrease. I'll do it one more time. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then a single crochet decrease. I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end. If you have any single crochets left, excuse me, just put one single crochet in each. Now we're going to take a minute and we're going to stuff our hand. I like to put enough in there so it's firm, but you can put as much stuffing as you want into your hand. I think that's good. Next row, which is row 9. In this row, we're just going to put one single crochet in the next stitch, then a single crochet decrease. And I hold my yarn, or I hold my fabric down, my fiber fill. So your repeat for this round is one single crochet in the next stitch, and then a single crochet decrease. I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end and I have one single crochet left, and that's right underneath the stitch marker. And at this time, whoops, if you need to add more stuffing, do it now, because the next round you won't be able to. So I'm going to just put a little bit more in mine. That looks good. This is our final round. And we're just going to put decreases all the way around. So your repeat for this last round is one single crochet decrease all the way around. When I get my round done, I'll be back and we'll finish off. So I have one single crochet left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stitch marker out, and I'm just going to go ahead and make one more single crochet decrease. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and then chain one and fasten off. Leave a long enough tail to sew in the end and hide it in your work. So now we're going to put this end on our needle. And we're going to close up the hole, this hole. So what I like to do is I go in and out of the stitches, which would be every other stitch I go behind the back loop, or I go behind the back post until you get back to where you started. Then I pull tight and close the hole, and then somewhere in there I just make a knot. Once you've made your knot, I just push it down into the fibers and come out a hole somewhere else. Then I go in that same hole and go out somewhere else. I'll do this a total of 3 times. Make sure you're going through the holes in your stitches and not the yarn itself, because it will mess up your work. Then I pull on the yarn and I cut it off. So this is what your hand should look like. Let's go ahead and do this tail. I pull tight. And then I just hide it in my hand as well. This is what your hand looks like so far. So while we're up here on the hand, I'm going to take a little bit of my colored yarn and cut off a piece. I'm going to put it on my needle. And then I'm going to give him toes. So coming from the side, probably go down 3 or 4 rows. And pull out your yarn. Leave a long enough tail to hide it when we're done. I'm just going to bring it over like this. I really hope you can see this. Go in the other side, put your needle through, and come out where you originally went in. And then pull tight. And then I go 3 times. Whoops. On the third one, I go over 2 spaces and I make another toe. I'm going to give him one more. And on my third one, I'm going to pull it, push it back over to where my end is. Then I'm going to double knot the ends together. Cut off the excess yarn. Put it on my needle and hide the yarn in my work. So that's what you should have. So what you need to do is you need to come down here to your foot and do the exact same thing. And when you're done with this piece, you need to make a whole nother piece, because you got to have two. So I'm going to finish my foot, and then when I get done with my foot, we'll come back and we'll put the whole body together. Okay, got both hands done and both feet done. Now it's time to connect the body together. So I'm going to take out all these stitch markers. And what I like to do is I like to take each panel at the front side and put a stitch marker in the corners to hold them together. And down here by the legs, I go into the double crochets, flip it over, and do the exact same thing over here. So once you have these in, you need to figure out which side you're going to have as your front side. I'm going to have this my front side. Get some of the yarn that you're going to connect the body with. And make a slip knot on your, and put your hook inside. So since this is my front, I'm going to start off with the back. I'm going to move my stitch marker down a couple of holes. We're going to start in the very first double crochet, and we're going to go in the back loop of the front panel and the front loop of the back panel. And we're going to slip stitch them together like we did on the arms. I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit hoarse today. We're just going to slip stitch all the way down. The back of the body. Take that one out and set it aside. So I'm going to finish doing the back of the body. When I get down to my stitch marker, then I'll come back and I'll tell you what to do between the legs. Okay, so I'm down here at my stitch marker. I'm just going to pull it out. Since this is tricky, then I'm not going to worry about front loop, back loop. However, there's a corner right here. I'm going to slip stitch into the corners. And then I'm going to bring up 2 loops through this double crochet and through the double crochet in the back, and I'm going to slip stitch together. I'm just neatly going to go through the double crochets on the leg and make a stitch wherever possible. I apologize, my daughter's playing a game and I can hear her. I sure hope you guys don't. So right here, just make a stitch wherever you can. Take the stitch marker out, set it aside. Back on the double crochets. And then I'm going to put one in the corners there to connect the corners together. Now since we're back out here, now I'm going to go on the back loop of the front panel and the front loop of the back panel. And I'm just going to slip stitch all along here. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch clear up to the bottom. Let me show you. Okay, so here's your opening. And right here is, oops, right there's the corner. I'm going to come up to the corner. I'm going to stop on these three double crochets. See, here's your long panel. Here's a space right here. And here's the corner. I'm going to stop on the double crochets, the very first double crochet between the 2 spaces. I'm going to weave in my end, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is what you should have for a body now. If it's bumped up in the middle, just push on it and it will flatten. So now, we can set aside the body because we're done with it for now. I think we'll make the ears next. So get out your body color and your hook, and we'll do the ears. Okay, I'm back. So with your body color, you need to make a magic ring. And in this magic ring, we're going to put 6 single crochets. And then close your magic ring. Round 2. 2 single crochets in each stitch round. And I'm going to crochet over my tail. Whoops. I'm going to take a stitch marker and put it in the last single crochet that I've done. You should now have 12 single crochets. Round 3. 1 single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochets in the following stitch. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochets in the following stitch. I'll meet you at the end. You should now have 18 single crochets all the way around. Round 4. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then 2 single crochets in the third stitch. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets in the third stitch. You should now have 24 stitches all the way around. For the next 5 rounds, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of each round, you should still have 24 single crochets. After each round, don't forget to move your stitch marker. When I have my 5 rounds done, I will be back to show you what's next. Round 9. Now we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then a single crochet decrease. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this row. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and a single crochet decrease. You should now have 18 stitches all the way around. Now we're going to put one single crochet in each stitch around for 4 rounds. At the end of each round, don't forget to move your stitch marker, and you should still have 18 stitches all the way around. When my 4 rounds are done, I will return. Okay, row 15. This is another decrease round. So we're going to put one single crochet in the next stitch and then a single crochet decrease. One single crochet in the next stitch and a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this round. One single crochet in the next stitch and a single crochet decrease. You should now have 12 stitches. Round 16. You're going to put one single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 5 rounds. Don't forget to move your stitch marker at the end of each round. At the end of each round, you should still have 12 single crochets. So when I'm done with my 5 rounds, then I will meet back up with you. Alright, once you get done with your ear, slip stitch into the next space, chain 1 and fasten off. Leave a long tail for sewing. And get out your pipe cleaner. We're going to put the pipe cleaners in the ears so it makes them bendable. So I flatten my ear and I measure where I need to bend at. I'm going to bend about a 1/2 inch from the bottom. Once I have them bended, I'm going to twist them together. I'm going to make sure that my tail is on the corner and then I'm just going to slide this in the ear. And that's all there is to the ears. You do, however, need to pause here and rewind and make another one because you need to have 2 ears. So when you're ready, get out the yarn that you had for your hands and your feet, and we'll move on to the head. Okay, let's do the head. Need a magic ring. And 6 single crochets in the magic ring. Alright, once you get your 6 single crochets done, close your magic ring. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. You should now have 12 stitches around. Round 3. 1 single crochet in the next and 2 single crochets in the following. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochets in the following stitch. You should now have 18 stitches. Round 4. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in the third stitch. This is your repeat. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the third stitch. You should now have 24 stitches all the way around. Round 5. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and in the fourth stitch 2 single crochets. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then in the fourth stitch 2 single crochets. You should now have 30 stitches. Round 6. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, in your fifth stitch 2 single crochets. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and 2 single crochet in the fifth stitch. You should now have 36 stitches, and this is what your project should look like so far. Round 7. 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. and then 2 single crochets in the 6th stitch. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, in the 6th stitch, 2 single crochets. Great. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. You should now have 42 stitches. For the next 7 rows, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of each round, don't forget to move your stitch marker, and you should have 42 stitches at the end of each round. When I get my 7 rows done, I will be back. This is what you should have so far. Round 15. It's time for the decreases. 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. And then a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then a single crochet decrease. You should now have 36 single crochets around. Row 16, 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Then a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. And then a single crochet decrease. You should have 30 stitches all the way around. Row 17, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Then a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, then a single crochet decrease. You should now have 24 stitches. In this round, round 18, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of the row, you still should have 24 stitches. When I get done with this row, I will return. Row 19. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then a single crochet decrease. This is your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then a single crochet decrease. You should have 18 stitches around. Row 20, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then a single crochet decrease. This will be your repeat for this round. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and a single crochet decrease. After this round, we'll stuff the head. You should now have 12 stitches. Let's go ahead and stuff the head. As you should know by now, I like my heads firm. But you may do whatever you think is right. So I'll finish stuffing the head and then I'll be back. So this is what your head should look like so far. One nice ball. Okay, for the next 6 rounds, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 6 rounds. At the end of each round, you should still have 12 single crochets. Don't forget to move your stitch marker at each round. If you lose your place, can't remember what row you're on, all you got to do is count. You start out the corner. Come over here to the stitch marker. You go on the right side of the stitch marker. You scroll down. You get where we did the magic circle, and you count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. On the right side you should have, well, like I'm on my 21st row. So on the right side it should be 20, which it is, and on the left side should be the number that you're on, which mine is 21. So when I get my 6 rows done, I will return. Okay. Now you have this funky looking thing that looks like a balloon. So now we need to stuff this little part. What would be called his neck. I think I got too much stuffing out. All right. All right, that should be good. Row 27 and last round. In this round, all we're going to do is a decrease round. Single decrease round all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have 6 stitches all the way around. can remove your stitch marker. You won't be needing it no more. And then the very next stitch, we're going to slip stitch, chain 1, fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing in the end and hiding your yarn. So if you're happy with the way your neck looks, go ahead and put your hook, your needle on your yarn. And we're just going to close the end like we did before. Once you got the end closed, just pull on your yarn and it will close. Make a knot. Pull tight. And you hide your yarn. I like to bring them up through the head. Careful not to lose your hook or your needle in there. All right. Pull on it, little it, and cut it off. So I'm going to get the color that I want for my face and put my yellow yarn up. And then I'll be back with you and we'll do the face. Okay. Once you get your head done and you're ready to do the face, I'm going to come in from the side and come out a hole in about the middle of the head. I'm going to leave a long tail so we can knot it off and hide the yarn later. From where I came out, I'm going to count over 5 holes. Starting with the hole I came out of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm then going to go in through and come out like that. And that's where his nose is going to be. I know I got a ton of yarn here, but I don't know how much it's going to take, and I'd rather have more than not enough. So I'm just going to keep going in the same spots until it looks good enough. I'm not going to bore you by making you watch me put the nose in. So when I get done with the nose, I will return. Okay, I wrapped it 9 times. But this will be my 10th time. I'm going to go in from in here, and then I'm going to find the middle, which is right there. Up there. I'll poke up through his nose. Bring it up through his nose. I'm going to come out and go down 2 rows. Then I'm going to go, see if you can see this, go in down 2 rows. Then I'm going to come out like there. This is the 3rd hole from the top of the nose. And that's where I'm going to make my eye. I'm going to go across, I'm going to go up, three rows, like this. And I'm only going to do a couple on his eyes. Three. Go in one more time and then we'll go over or go over and do the other eye. So go over 3 holes from the left. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're on the same row as the previous die. And we'll wrap this one 4 times. Once you have the desired amount of rounds, you need to come back out the same place that you started. So now my face looks like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 ends, I'm going to knot them together, and then I'm going to hide them in my work, and then when I come back, we'll put the ears on. Okay, I've already sewed on one ear. I'm just going to put this on the other side. Find your place. And go down into the head. And come out another hole. And you're just going to go up each stitch, and then let's see if I can get this close enough. So I came up through that stitch. Now I'm going to go down through this stitch and into the head. Then I'm going to come up through another stitch and go down the next stitch over. And you just keep doing that all the way around. When I get done, I'll show you what's next. When you're sewing the front part of your on, when you go down, let me come out here. Try and pull out your front part a little bit. Pull it out like this, and then put it in. And then when you go up into your ear, do the same thing. Pull it out some. Okay, once you get the ears on, if they're sunken down in too far, all you have to do is take your needle and go in the hole and pull up. And that will bring them out just a little bit. So it doesn't look like it's sunken in. You can also pull on your ears. You may have to reshape the head after you're done. Now I'm just going to double knot the two ends of the ears together. And cut the excess yarn off and weave it into my work. We're just about done. I know this video is a little bit longer than most, but I wanted to show you a few tricks and explain how to do things a little better on this one, since this was light colors. So now we need to get the body. I'm just going to use the same color that I used for the face. And then that way I can use up some of the yarn that I have left over. You need to stick your head down into the body. Put his neck inside the hole. I try and line the nose up with the single crochet or the slip stitch area here. And now we're just going to sew the head onto the body. And this can take a lot of time. It's very tedious. But if you take your time with it, you can get it done. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just bring it up this way. So I've gone in through the neck and I came out the body. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the body and then go back into the neck. And I'm just going to come up in another area. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And this is what I'm going to do all the way around, hoping it stays center. This is the hardest part. Go in through the neck, out the body somewhere, down in through the body, and out another place. So I'll do a few stitches with you, and then I'll let you do the rest on your own. And if it's too hard, go out through the head and then go back down through the head. I try to go underneath a couple stitches. I'll do one more. I'm just going to go out the body, out the head. Okay, I'm going to go all the way around my bunny's neck, and then I'll be back and we'll finish off. Okay, once you're satisfied with the way your head looks, double knot the two ends together, reshape your head. I'm sure it will need it. And your bunny is done. I'm going to zoom out. And this is what your bunny should look like. I'm sorry once again for being so long, but I hope you learned something. So I hope you learned a few good things, good tricks, some easier ways of doing things. Please like and share this video if you can. I would sure like to see your bunnies. If you do them, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. The links will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching and having some patience with me. Please be safe out there. Until next time, bye.